Welcome to another episode of Keeping Up the Conversation. I am your host, Miss Tori, and that guy on the other side of the screen, on the side of my screen and your screen, is our co-host, Big Kid. What's up, Big Kid?
What's up?
We have a really, really good, fun-filled, jam-packed show today, and at the top of the hour, we always start the show off with our hot topics. All right, you know
Oh,
what?
yeah.
Big Ken, tell me your thoughts about this. Okay, so there's a bride and she's facing backlash over her insane menu options at her wedding, right? Okay, so she is having a destination wedding,
Mhm.
and of course, destination wedding is when you go off to some other place. Sometimes people go to the islands or whatever, and the guests have to pay their own way to this destination. So in this case, you would expect some food and some nice food, some exquisite food at the wedding, but not in this case. A person that's attending the wedding took to social media and she said, "My cousin, she's a cousin of the groom." So she said, "My cousin invited me to his destination wedding, which is going to cost me a lot of money to attend. However, I just found out he plans to save money by catering the wedding with tons of fast food options." So, and she goes on to say, "The bride thinks this is cute, but I'm heated and want to skip the event. What should I do? Am I allowed to give them a cheaper gift because of this?" You know, a lot of people would have varying opinions of this, but let me tell you something. If I fly all the way out to Jamaica and you serve me, instead of serving me the island food, you serve me the fast food or Chick-fil-A or whatever fast food they may have in Jamaica, I would be totally upset. I just don't think that's fair. If I got to pay my way and all this stuff, and then I'm gonna get there and you're gonna serve me fast food, I'm not gonna be happy.
I mean, I look at it two ways. Okay, I don't know the reasoning behind it. You
I
say, I
just
mean,
told you they're gonna
this,
save some money. They're trying to
I
save
know
money.
that, but maybe the food has some type of significance. Maybe they met at a fast food restaurant. Maybe that was their first date. Like, I'm not sure if it's something. I'm hoping that it's something else besides the money aspect. Because if you're having a destination wedding and you're trying to save money, like the two don't go hand in hand.
No, I mean, no,
First of
not
all,
at all. What do I
you
look
know,
like at a destination wedding eating a hamburger? If even if you, I don't know, but
it
you
just
could
depends on
probably.
what type of hamburger.
I was about to say that it depends on what type of a hamburger it could be, but at the end of the day, a hamburger is a hamburger is a hamburger. And
Not
even
really, but go ahead.
you can have the most exquisite hamburger, but I don't want to have anything that I can make at home. I want something that I'm probably not going to have for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
you
it's
go
like
all the way to Jamaica. You don't want to eat something that you could eat while you're at home. And that's kind of
exactly.
what people do when they go on vacation. They go places on vacation and then they go there and go to McDonald's. I'm like, I never understood that mindset. I
Yeah.
thought you were
No.
supposed to go where you're going and then find places that you can't, eat at home and eat there.
Right, right. A place that is like that is Las Vegas. It's like you go up and down the strip, and you're gonna find all the fast foods you could probably find, but that you could probably find at home. But
Yeah.
Vegas has a whole different spin. It's because they're kind of catering to people that are gambling and that are probably drunk or whatever. But then if you want something really good, you got to kind of go all the way out to like Henderson, Nevada, and get something that you probably have not had. But this is not the case. Okay, this is a destination wedding, but I don't know. Maybe they could live in Texas and the destination is Las Vegas. I don't know, but
I guess.
I know we have our opinion, but I mean, come on now. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's one of those deals where, like I said, I'm interested. I would be interested to have a conversation with the actual bride to see like what her mindset was behind that decision to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Yeah.
huh. So anyway, a Nigerian artist, he makes prosthetic limbs for dark skinned people, and today's prosthetics kind of seem geared towards white or lighter skin tones. Even if they even look like human in the first place, but but one Nigerian artist is looking to change that. John Amanon, he's a 32-year-old former movie special effects expert who has a passion for sculpting. He's a native of Nigeria, and he became fascinated with prosthetics after a close family member lost one of their limbs in a tragic accident. Anaman said he became emotional about amputees. They had this feeling of discomfort whenever you were around whenever they're around other people, and he saw it as a challenge if he could give back and saw this need. So it would go a long way to ease the emotional trauma and loss of confidence. And and I think this is a great idea. He said that he just wants them to feel at home and whole aesthetically, and I think that makes perfect sense, because sometimes you see these people who are amputees, and their skin, the skin or the color on their prosthetic does not match them. And and of course, as African Americans, it doesn't make a lot of sense for us to have the prosthetic and it doesn't match our skin. That
Yeah.
alone already being an amputee, and then being, kind of have a little bit of uneasiness about that, and then of course having a prosthetic that's not your skin color, that that alone right there could kind of still make you feel uneasy. Sitting next to somebody and you're this, we're gonna say it, you're this black person and your prosthetic is white. It just
Yeah.
doesn't
I
make
think missing
sense.
a limb, you already have, a lot of people who are in that situation probably have a confidence issue, especially when they first, start, living life without it. Or if they, maybe if they grew up with it, it might be a little different with the confidence than if somebody had an accident or something and they're
Exactly.
having to adjust their life to having a prosthetic limb at that point. So I would think that this would definitely improve their, their willingness to go out and be seen with this prosthetic because it actually looks,
It
it's
looks
supposed to look
yeah,
real.
it looks real, and it's their skin color, and that's just all the confidence. That's all the confidence right there,
Yeah.
and so that's I think that's really important. And kudos to Amana for doing that.
Yeah, that's very dope. Very
Yeah,
dope.
yeah, exactly. Back in the days, a lot of the prosthetics was wood, and so you would kind of walk around. It's like it's straight, but now you kind of walk around. It's kind of like stiff. But now, even on top of Amanam having he's doing this for the darker tone um amputees. It's just the fact that technology also plays a role in all of this as well. And so
Oh
I'm
yeah.
glad it's so different than the way it was years ago. And I'm sure Amanon and anyone coming up behind him is just going to make, you hate that someone is an amputee, but you want to make them feel comfortable. So again, kudos to Amanon.
Yeah. Big kudos.
Yeah. So last week, the NFL the draft was last week, and a native of San Francisco, Najee Harris, he was selected 24th overall by the Pittsburgh Steelers. But what makes this a beautiful story is that before celebrating the big night, Harris returned to the Greater Richmond Interfaith Program homeless shelter in Richmond, where he lived for several years as a child. Harris was a star athlete at the University of Alabama, and he won the Doak Walker Award last year, representing the top in the nation, rushing for 1,466 yards. He stayed at Alabama despite buzzing as a potential draft pick for some time, helping them win another national champion. Now, through it all, Harris is paying it forward. So, you got to definitely give him a big ups for that. Those kids at the shelter were extremely, extremely happy about that. I know that not it was Najee, and so it was seven of them. So I believe it was Najee and his siblings, and then his parents was at this shelter for a little while. And for him the great thing, what I love sometimes about players, whether it's in the NFL, the NBA, is that when they reach back and they never forget where they came from. That's always touching. And I know it, I'm sure it made those kids just
No, I
their night.
know
Yeah.
it made those kids because
Yeah.
when you have players and celebrities and things of that nature go back to the places where they came from, especially in this story with a homeless shelter, it gives these kids hope, that
Yeah.
they can come from these same set of circumstances and be successful. So doing that, is a rebuilding type of deal, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And him doing that, he inspired, if he inspired at least one of those children to do something great, and that child goes on to be successful and come back and do the same thing, then you create a
Yeah.
cycle of it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's what we hope, what I'm saying, in our societies that we do for these kids, is provide hope for them and let them know that even though
Exactly.
their circumstances are bad right now, it doesn't have to stay that way.
Exactly, exactly. Look to the future, and he's a prime example how, the circumstances was challenging, but, look at Najee Harris now, 24th pick uh, in the NFL draft by the Pittsburgh Steelers. So,
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
All right. What time is it? It's time for Big Ken's fun facts. What you got for us?
It's time for Big Ken's fun facts.
You're so
Well,
hilarious.
hey, each week I find something weird or interesting to try to talk to you all about. This week, something you all know about, but I tried to find some facts about it that I don't think you would probably know. This week, I'm bringing to you a subject about twins. Now, Tori talked crazy to me before the show, but she was like, "What does this have to do with twins?" This is one of my favorite memes, so I figured I'd pop that up first because Spider-Man is Spider-Man, right? When we think of twins, we think of identical twins most of the time, but there are other types of twins. There are fraternal twins, so and there is another type of twin that I'll talk about for a second, but I found this information in the Journal of Human Reproduction, right?
What are you doing looking in that journal? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well,
Go
I'm
ahead.
doing my research, and I discovered that for me, I always wanted to be a twin, number one, and I always wanted to have twins, but I didn't.
So you could do bad stuff. Anyway, go ahead.
So for me, twins was always an interesting thing. So I just was looking up random stuff, but I did notice that I saw more twins in the world. Like when you go to the store or when you go to visit your children at school, I would see, when we were growing up, like there was like maybe one set of twins in the school, possibly two, but not five or six sets of twins. And I've seen five or six sets of twins in one school. So I was trying to figure out, I was like, what in the heck is going on? Then I found this information here. It says the twinning rate has increased since the 80s. It's gone from 9 to 12 twins per 1,000 deliveries. Currently, that adds up to 1.6 million twins born across the world, meaning that
Wow.
one out of every 42 births, that's twins.
Wow.
Which is crazy to me, right? But we know we have science now. So the fertility experts are able to, tweak some things to produce twins. So that's one part of it. And another part of it that I found interesting is women that are older have a more likelihood of producing twins. So get that. Older women who bear children are more than likely to produce twins than a younger woman. Go
Oh my.
figure, right?
Well, yeah, that's crazy.
So yeah, that blew my mind because I mean, most women, if you're late 30s, early 40s, you're not thinking about having a child, but you might break off more than you bargained for because you
You
might
know,
end up with two.
yeah, that's crazy. It's like someone who waited. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna have a kid when I'm in my 40s and 50s, and then you have two. He's like, no, that
Yeah,
that wasn't part of the plan. I don't. I that's not. I don't want two. I don't. And I
yeah.
don't
So
know.
we think of these cute twins. When you look at two cute faces and you see, wow,
That's just
twins. It looks
no.
amazing.
That's
This,
double badness. That's double badness.
this was an amazing set of twins that I
Yeah.
didn't know was twins until later
Yeah.
on. I'm like, wait a minute, they're twins? Wow,
Yeah.
that was amazing. But this piece right here is another amazing piece. These are twins.
Wow, I've heard that. I've heard of situations like that where one twin comes out looking either it could be albino. or it could be, black
Yes,
or
because you
white.
have, and what I want to talk about briefly is people got to understand. Number one, this gets on my nerves when I hear people say twins runs on a guy's side of the family. Listen, people, the twins running on the guy's side of the family has nothing to do with with you having twins. Okay, so stop it. It's all on the woman and her ability to have, drop multiple eggs, or if one sperm fertilizes an egg and it splits, but it's all on the woman's side of her family and her DNA. So I'll leave you with these 5 facts before I go. One of the 5 facts is identical twins have different fingerprints. They don't have the same fingerprints. So they have everything else the same. They don't have the same fingerprints. Number 2, it is possible for twins to have 2 different daddies.
Wait, what? Okay.
So but
Wow.
get this. If a woman has sex with 2 different guys in a certain time frame and she dropped 2 eggs, then there will be 2 babies born that belong to 2 different people.
Oh, that's just nasty.
Well, hey,
She's
I'm not
nasty.
knocking nobody. I'm
I
not
am.
judging
You know me,
nobody.
I'm a knocker.
It's
She
it's
is.
just a
She's
fact, okay?
nasty.
It's a
Yeah.
fact.
Okay.
Okay.
What's the
Now,
third one?
the third one is once you have a set of twins, the likelihood of your next birth being twins increases 3 to 4 times. So
Oh, wow.
I know you've seen people out there who have multiple sets of twins, and that's why. Okay, because your body does that trick all over again. Just hitting copy. Just hitting copy. All right. So the last 2 interesting facts were number 4, Nigeria has the highest rate of multiple births and the most identical twins.
Really? I did
And
not know
China
that.
has the lowest rate of twins, period.
Wow.
And get this, ladies, take note. Mothers of twins live longer.
Oh God. You didn't even have to end it with that.
That's why I had to end it with that, because ladies, you want to live longer? Have yourself a set of twins.
Oh. Well, how
I'm
about
just
this?
saying.
How about this non-Big Ken fun fact? Did you know that I thought first let me just the prereq let me just say this first.
What's
I
that, huh?
I was young. So I thought in order to have twins, you had to do a certain position. Okay, so yeah, I'm just saying. But
I'm just
thank you for your fun facts. It may have taken me this many years to realize that.
yeah. Yeah, but I'm
Now
glad you
I
did.
know. But
Even yeah, we're not gonna go down that. We're not gonna go down that road. We're just gonna leave that where it is,
oh, I can't
and
say
we're
what I was
gonna
gonna say.
no,
Okay, so
we're gonna move on. We're gonna
all
move on.
right. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Big Ken, as always, for your fun facts. All right, our guest today is a world traveler, entrepreneur, businesswoman, and has truly defined what it means to be the lover of life. Known as a Jamaican bombshell, welcome to the show, Kumiko Ming.
Thank you.
What's up, Kumiko? How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Good, good,
Doing
good.
great.
We're
Welcome to the
glad to have
show.
you. Yeah, glad to have you on the show.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, you just sit back, relax, and let's enjoy this ride. Loosen up a little bit, girl, because I know you're not uptight like that. That is
No,
just not you.
n-
Not beach walking, Kumiko.
no,
No.
no, not at all.
But
Tell
nevertheless,
her don't come for you. You're a fellow Pisces, so I'm not gonna let her do it.
oh my
Oh, okay. See,
gosh.
it's
Okay.
nice to know. It's nice to know that I have backup.
Yes,
Oh
ma'am.
Nice
my
to
I'm
know.
not gonna
gosh.
let her
Okay.
do that.
So as I tell every guest on the show, do not talk to the co-host. Just- I am just playing. That's my sidekick right there, Big Kid. Anyway,
Okay.
so yeah, Kamiko, welcome to the show. I know that you are from the Caribbean islands. How do you do like Jamaica to be? Okay, never mind. Whatever. So
That that
anyway,
that was your best accent.
that was it. I didn't even get to finish. I didn't want to give you guys all I had. I didn't want to, it's kind
Please,
I gotta,
please,
I gotta say,
you
I
got to
gotta.
give us something.
Mm-mm.
Just a little something.
That was
Come
it.
on.
No.
That
Let me try one more time. So how do you? Cause
okay.
see, I started doing Jamaican, and then it started sounding like I'm Indian. So I can't, I can't do it. So okay, he's telling me move on. Okay, so
Oh.
yeah. So you are from the Caribbean island. So what brought you to the States? Because now you're in Florida. Is that right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I came as a young kid I mean, I come from a family of travelers, so
Uh-huh.
there's just something about Jamaicans and just going to like England and Canada and just
Wow.
everywhere. And so, yeah, I've just always been I first went on a plane at 3 weeks old.
Oh
So
my
Wow.
gosh. You
that's how, right.
wow, you travel more than some adults
Yeah,
at 3 weeks
I
old.
literally have, right. I don't know why, but I've just
Wow.
been on a plane.
So,
The
so
good
is all of
thing.
your family still in Jamaica? Do you have family in Jamaica, or you
They're,
guys
well, they're all scattered. So I
they
still
are?
have family there. I have family in Canada. I actually have family in Kenya. I have family, like,
Wow.
they're just everywhere.
Wow. Okay. So are you single, dating, you flirting? What are you doing?
She just went right to
See,
your business. Right to your business
right,
off the top.
I
like,
know, we just come on, let's keep up this conversation. I'm gonna move on to the
well,
good
I don't
stuff.
know who's watching, so you might like mess up my,
Oh, I might mess up your
Oh.
game. Ooh,
right,
ooh, Kumiko. Let's move on to the next one.
right. Don't do the story.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so, all right, Kamika, with your bad self, you were a plus size model, and you had a few appearances on TV and on catwalks. And is that a tough industry? The just being in the plus size,
It
and then
was.
was
It
it?
was especially because I got in before it is what it is today.
Oh,
So when
okay.
I got in, people didn't really know what plus size modeling was. So I had to do a lot of educating. Because people would be like, oh my gosh, you're so pretty. You should be a model. And then it's like, I am. And then you
Mhm.
have other people who are like, you're a model? And it's like,
Ah,
yes. And it's like, what is plus size? So like that was before the Ashley Grahams. That was
mhm.
before like, all the big names that are out there. So it was a challenge, but by the grace of God, I did it
Yeah. How long were you in the industry, in the doing that
for
kind
over 12 years because I started at the age of
Wow.
13.
Oh, wow. There wasn't any, I mean, there wasn't any like stress behind that, you know?
No, because it was just a passion. It was just something that, like, it just came natural to me. I did
Mhm.
it because it allowed me to be myself and to show, like, the different sides of me. And it became a mission because at the time, plus size was commercial. So it was very JCPenney, Sears, stuff like
Yeah.
that. And to me, it
Oh,
was
that's
like,
true.
right. And it was like, why do I got to be commercial? Like, why can't I do fashion shows and high fashion
Right.
and stuff like that? So even in my portfolio, it became a mission to like challenge myself and do glamour and do
Mhm.
fashion and just do a little of everything and just show that even though I was plus size, I can do anything that the skinny girls can do
Yeah.
and
Oh,
just
yeah.
show that confidence.
Yeah. So not to like kind of harp on that, I know that was just, your past, but it also paved the way for the future. But, these days plus size is not it's just something, it's not even a big deal anymore. It is just kind of what it is.
Right.
Everywhere you go, ads you see, it's basically just models. But, I always like to get our guests' opinion on a lot of things that they were involved in. So, based on what you did back then and the way it is now, if there are like young girls or women, that right now that are afraid to embrace their thickness, what advice would you give that girl who wants to break into the modeling as a plus size, a woman or a girl, or a girl that was maybe getting into it, when you were at your age, or even a woman who, because a lot of women now are trying to open up, but they're just kind of afraid to embrace their plus size 100%. What advice would you give them?
Ignore all the noise. We all have insecurities. It doesn't matter if you're big, the skinny girls have just as much insecurities. And be you, love you. Just don't even think about it because you will be surprised on the people that you will touch when you
Yeah.
just go for it.
Hmm. Thank you. Now,
Two
okay, so
things. Hold on.
oh, go
Two
ahead.
things I
Okay.
got.
Okay.
First one is right now, would you say plus size models or thick women, like they popping, like that's
They
in.
are. That's
So
the
like
thing.
the level of, you know what I'm saying, of which they can go out and do anything is probably at the highest it's ever been right now.
Right.
And I was going to ask you, do you think that part of that is because it's due to social media? You know, the exposure that people get on social media like Instagram and things like that, for these women to be able to create their own platforms to, you know, introduce themselves to the world versus waiting on somebody else to give them an opportunity.
Yeah, social media has definitely helped because I started in the era before Instagram was what it was. So I wasn't like, an IG model. I was an actual model. And I think now because you can see so much more and you have quick access to it, and now that you're seeing more and more people that look like you and more representation and stuff like that, it really does make it easier because when I started before that was even there, the amount of messages I used to get from women in my inbox, or just would hear from photographers that would say like, I love shooting with you because you're fearless and you're
Yeah.
not scared and you actually inspire many women. And it's like, it kind of makes you teary eyed because you do what you do because you love it and you hope it has the impact, but it's not until someone says to you like, I see you, I appreciate you, that is the confirmation that like, okay, so I'm not just out here wasting my time,
Yeah, let you,
trying
yeah.
to and it makes you feel good, and it lets you know to keep going, because even though yes, I am confident and it was a mission for me, at the same time you don't know if you're wasting your time or not, or if you should still keep going. But the good thing is, because it's a passion, I'm just going to do me anyway. You see it, take it or leave it.
Oh yeah, and it it also lets you know that people are watching, and sometimes you become a role model without knowing you
Even
are.
real life,
Yeah,
right?
without,
Like
yeah,
you didn't
without
even try
realizing.
to. Like I was just
Yeah.
here minding my business, and oh
No,
no.
I'm gonna give you your credit. You
Yeah.
probably spawned a lot of these plus size models and women that are out there now. You put the battery in their back and
Yeah.
ignited them to a level where they felt like they could go out and present themselves to a world in, you know what I'm saying, another light other than what other people have cast on them in the past. So kudos to you for
Yeah,
doing that,
exactly.
because
Yeah.
Thank you.
you were ahead of your time.
Thank you, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, because it would be amazing when sometimes I would even see memes and my pictures would be used in them, comparing like who's sexy, slim,
Oh, wow.
thick, and I would be like, oh, stop. Or there was even a
Yeah.
time where I was in a competition and I actually was competing against Ashley Graham
Oh,
and
wow.
Ireland's lead plus model Louise O'Reilly back in the day, and I didn't even know about it. It
Mhm.
was like towards the end of it, someone reached out to me and was like, oh, I've been trying to find you. Like, you're in a whole competition. And I'm just like, I am?
I
Like,
am?
who submitted me? And like, I'm like, oh, people actually voted for me? Oh my gosh, this
Oh
is
my
so. And I mean,
god.
I didn't win, but to me, it was like, I must be
But
doing
still,
something if
yeah,
I'm running
exactly.
up against Ashley and Ireland's lead plus model at the time. So it's like we were saying, you just really don't know. And sometimes
Yeah.
you do pave the way, but until, someone gives you that acknowledgement, you just
Y
really
y
have no
yeah.
idea the impact that you're having.
Yeah. Now you are you're a businesswoman, and you're doing you're doing a lot of things, making a lot of moves, and but one of the places where you're making moves is let's first just talk about you behind the camera. How did you get started in photography, because sometimes it takes a lot of patience and a good eye to be an exceptional photographer. So how did you get into that arena?
Well, the funny story is one of the businesses, my lipstick line, House of Uni, is what introduced me to
Mhm.
photography because I needed to shoot for my campaign and none of my photographer friends were available. So I borrowed a friend's camera and I was like, I'm sure I can do this. It's not that difficult. And I had like 10 models, one makeup artist, which was ridiculous looking back at it. I'm like, how did you get one makeup artist to do 10 girls? And I had my best friend who was behind the scenes, and I had my cousin who is a stylist out in LA. And we I just went and point and click and did what I thought worked, and my cousin was like, I might need to hire you to come out to LA to shoot for me, because and I just did it, and I only shot for my brand, and then friends were like, oh my gosh, you're really good, like
Yeah.
you need to put this out there. And I'm like, oh no, let me, I just have it for me. And then I put it out there, and everyone was just like, you're a photographer? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, this is so good. And then the rest was just history after that. It just took off.
So, being a photographer, there are moods and temperatures in the room. So have you ever had to like do a photo shoot? And I know a lot of this is for your brand, but have you ever had to do a photo shoot where you're just not feeling the mood or feeling that person?
Yes.
How do you get through that? Because it's so different from me because
I feel like I'm having PTSD now that you done said this. I just thought of all the people who, ugh, but
how do you get through that? Like, how do you
prayer,
manage that?
prayer, patience, maybe a shot of tequila. I'm joking. I just push through
Uh-huh.
because I pretty much rush it. I rush the process. I just hurry up, snap, snap, snap. And the good thing is I have a good eye, so I can
Uh-huh.
capture things quickly.
Mhm.
Um, but when I really like someone, I have to remind myself, like, girl, come on, we got things to do. Keep it moving, because I would keep
Yeah,
on shooting. So
yeah,
I just move through the shoot quickly, and chances are I'll probably never work with them again, because
yeah,
I love good vibes when I'm
yeah.
shooting. I love to have fun. I like positivity. So divas, people who are just difficult, it's just like snap, snap. Here's your picture.
Yeah, 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 go
Right.
back, yeah.
See you later.
Well,
Now
I like the whole concept of what you did, because I tell people all the time, sometimes we can do more than we think we can do. And sometimes
yeah,
we don't find out until we have to do something that we
Right.
haven't done before. And then we
yeah,
discover these hidden talents that we didn't know we had. So
mhm.
that's an amazing part of your story as well. And I'm glad you did that, because now you opened up a whole new lane for yourself with that one.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that, I can also relate to you as well, Kamiko, because, I'm an on-field reporter, and I love doing journalism, but there was a time where, I couldn't shoot the football players and do interviews at the same time, and I wasn't as comfortable behind the camera and capturing the shots. What's comfortable for me is talking to people. And so I had to set up the camera and pray like hell that this is going to work, and it did. And I think the thing is that when you have a craft, in order to expand it, you have to expand as well, and you have to be comfortable and confident. And I think that that's a lot of what I see in you, from the modeling to the photography, and it's also all about, just making it happen. You got to make it happen. This is your thing. So I totally can relate. You started finding, like Ken said, you started finding out, shit, I can do this. I don't want to
Right,
do it out
exactly. And
of
that's
job.
how and that's how almost every single one of them has been, is like it's not until I am forced to, have to do something, and then I'm just like, "Oh wow, I'm actually good at this."
Yeah, yeah, and so you have the photography, and you were doing the photography, and of course shooting your own brand, and you have your own brand of lipstick, or it's a see, I gotta know this. So it's like a brand and a line of lipstick, the House of Uni. Is
Mhm.
there is
So what happened is it started off as lipstick, and now it's slowly expanding into like self-care
okay.
ish type of thing. Because the thing is, I didn't want to do a full-fledged cosmetic line.
Mhm.
I didn't want to get into the technicalities of foundation, concealers,
Yeah,
different skin tones, all of that stuff, because it gets complicated and technical, and you have oily skin and dry
yeah.
skin. And I was just like, you know what? Lipsticks is simple. Even if you don't know how to do makeup, you can put on some lipstick, even if it's not even put on correctly. You
Yeah,
can just
you could put
smack it
on.
on. And I just figured
Yeah.
that, it was easy.
It was,
There was
yeah.
no thought process. You throw it in your bag. And so I said, okay, let me start with that. And then
Mhm.
actually this month I'm releasing candles. So
Oh.
they're tropical and island scent candles. So
Oh, okay. Big King, can you put up the graphic with the House of Uni lipstick? Those are such beautiful colors. I really like that. Those are
thank
nice.
you.
Now, do you come up with your own kind of creations and colors with the House of Uni? Do you work with someone to do that? Like, how do you?
So how it actually started is I started in my kitchen. So transitioning from modeling when competition started to be Instagram models and exposure was the way to pay. And, people would just be like, well, why work with you when you got this girl over here who's willing to do it for free?
Mhm.
And I just said, you know what? I think it's time to transition. I didn't want to model forever, but I did have a long list of things I wanted to do. So I just looked at my long list and I was like, all right, we're going to do lipsticks. And I was like, now that we're going to do lipsticks, do you know anything about lipsticks? So then I started researching. I got my beeswax, I got my micas, my pigments,
Uh-huh.
my essential oils, and I just went in the kitchen, started mixing, had my mold, and my mother looked at me like, you're crazy. What happens if this blows up? Like, how are you going to do all these orders?
Yeah.
And so said, so done. It blew
Yeah.
up. And I'm like,
Wow.
did you know something that I didn't know? Because so then I had to find a manufacturer and team up with them. And we
Mhm.
did the whole back and forth until we perfected, what I wanted for my brand. And then
Mhm.
now they mass produce everything for me.
See, and that's the thing is that, why I love to have game changers and entrepreneurs and celebrities on the show is because a lot of them just started in the space that they're in. You started in the space that you're in. And, it's like Big Ken and I always try to get people just start, just do it. Like you said, you did the research. You didn't worry about tomorrow or how you're going to do this, how you're going to do that. You just made it happen. And sometimes people can't even do that because they're scared, they're afraid of what may or may not happen, and you did not care.
And fear will always prevent you from doing what you need to do.
Yeah.
Like everyone is scared. The only difference that makes between you and the person who actually launched is they actually just did it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's a
it's
fact.
not to say that they weren't scared. They had no idea how it was going to happen. Look how many one hit wonders there are. Look how many
Right.
here today, gone tomorrow. And you're like, but didn't? I mean, it happens, but you won't know until you just try.
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna
And
ask, how long have you had your business, like your lipstick line? How long has that been in existence?
This year makes lucky number 7.
oh,
Okay,
wow.
okay.
That is awesome.
Congratulations on that.
Ooh, I know.
Thank you.
Good job. Yeah, yeah. Normally normally Ken and I we always pretty much every guest we have on the show, they either send us stuff or we order stuff. And Big Ken, I don't know about you in this lipstick, but
I mean, I could give it to
or
somebody.
or you can order like a really hot pink for your wife. I'm gonna order some, but I'm just telling you, Ken, I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah,
I'll hook you guys up and I'm sure I have something
For Ken.
right.
He could be the guinea pig candle man.
well, I mean, she said she had self-care line, so I do like to make sure my skin and everything is
That's
taken care
true.
of. So,
That's true.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure she got some type of product because I definitely don't need the lipstick for
Not
myself.
yet. I said
So,
it's slowly transitioning
Slowly.
into
well,
self-care.
hey,
So,
I'm being ambitious.
oh,
I'm here when you get it done.
so so what are some other plans that you have for the House of Uni?
well, it's still going. Because the candles were something that was on the list, and I just finally decided this year to do it. And every day I'm trying to figure out what direction I want to go because I don't know if I want to add it to the brand or just start a whole new brand.
Right.
So it depends on what it is. I'm still trying to decide like how does it fit? how do I want, because just like with a lot of brands, for instance, like Chanel, a lot of people know Chanel for their purses, but a lot of people don't know that when they first started, it was business wear, it was suits.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And so it's like you may start off one place, but where you end up may be somewhere completely different. So I haven't figured it all out yet. But so for right now, it's just lipsticks. Probably add some lip gloss this summer for the girls who aren't into necessarily lipsticks, but
Right.
still want some lip wear. And then
Yeah.
this month, the candles are going to be launched. And then I have all these other things that keep me busy and occupied. So I'm figuring it out day by day.
One of the things that we've kind of been talking to a lot of our guests about is COVID and their business. Now,
Mm.
did COVID affect your business in any way? It's kind of different because you're a photographer, and then you also have the House of Uni. So, did you have to pivot and do something different? Because it's not like a photographer can do
Right.
photography on Zoom. I don't think.
Well, the funny thing is, a photographer actually did start that. He started this whole FaceTime photo shoot thing where people would call through the FaceTime and he would
What?
kind of instruct them on how to pose. And
Wow.
right, so he actually did it and it worked for him. But as far as photography, I really used that time for self-reflection.
Oh, okay.
Self-reflection because I couldn't travel, I couldn't do anything. So it was like time to look at myself, look at what it is that I'm doing and find ways on how to improve, what to change. So it really was like a step back. As far as the lipsticks, it affected only because so many people were out of work,
Oh, yeah.
finances. So
Mhm,
people weren't necessarily keen to purchase. So
mhm.
my sales did drop, especially in the beginning. And then, this was something new. We had no idea what
Right.
was going on, how long it would last, if it was just going to be a month, 2 months. And then look at us now, a whole year later, like still things are just slowly starting to get
Yeah.
back to normal. So yeah, photography, I just kind of took a step back until probably like the ending of the year. And then I kind of dabbled into it, would do a shoot here or there. But yeah, COVID definitely, like, sales had dropped dramatically.
Now I have one question for you since we're talking about the COVID piece. With you having a line of lipsticks and everybody wearing masks, like how did that change your mindset as far as approaching having a product that is number one going to be behind a mask, number two, that if it's behind the mask, does it have properties that helps it stay on or
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Big Ken. Actually, I had a product prior to COVID, and
mm,
it's a matte lipstick. So it goes on like a lip gloss and it dries to a matte finish and it doesn't budge. It's waterproof, smudge proof. Only
okay.
way you're getting it off is with oil, something oily or greasy. So I actually had that, and that actually, once sales started, have actually been one of the best sellers because, like you said, with people wearing the mask, they're just like, all right, let me get me a liquid lipstick, and you take it off and nothing moves.
Yeah, that
See,
that's
Tori, I know a
awesome.
little something. I know a little something.
All right. Okay. See, that's why I got. See, that's one of the reasons why I have you on the show because you can kind of bring a man's point
At
of view
least you know
to
you're
this.
good for something, Big Ken.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried.
Now, Kamiko, you wear a lot of hats. Is there something that is there like one thing that you are extremely passionate about? Just love it all.
Right, because I'm still in that phase of transition
Mhm.
and I'm still figuring it out. And especially one of the things I thought about, I was like, I wear so many hats. I'm like, who am I? And I
Mm,
really couldn't figure it out. I was just like, oh, entrepreneur is nice, but I just feel like it's just so
bigger than
di-
that.
it was, I mean, no offense to any entrepreneur out there,
Yeah.
but it was giving me starving artist vibes. Like, I'm an entrepreneur. It's like, that doesn't really tell me what you're
Yeah,
doing. Okay.
exactly.
So,
And everybody's using that term,
right. And everyone. So
Yeah.
then I just kept thinking, and then I start Googling and researching people who I think are similar to what I'm doing. And then it hit me, and I'm like, I'm a businesswoman.
There
That's
you
who
Oh
go.
my
I
gosh.
am.
Something so simple. And I'm like, that's what it is. Even though it's still so generic, I feel like it opens up room for, well, what kind of businesses?
Mhm.
Because I really do have a plethora of businesses, from
Right.
photography to the lipstick. Um, I just teamed up with my mom, and we're doing rum punches.
Mm.
So where we've like perfected that. So when I said I actually had something for you, Big Ken, that was the thing that I had.
Ah,
But see, I just wanted to play along with
Aha!
Tori and made it seem like it was lipsticks,
ah.
but it really was the liquor. You know, I got you.
Oh my
And
goodness, he made his night.
and I do a lot of business in DR, where I'm doing luxury Airbnbs that I'm getting ready to launch this summer. I'm opening up a juice and smoothie bar on the North Coast, and also a
Wow.
recovery house for people who travel from overseas and do like the plastic surgery and stuff like that.
That's
So,
a great idea, yeah.
right, because from the reviews, it's like they go there, but they don't get as much good treatment.
Mhm,
Mm.
So I figured that, with my knowledge of how we do things and how we run stuff in the US, for
mhm.
those people who can't leave the island and get those experiences, why not bring what we're used to over there?
Right.
So I did see the opportunity for that. So and also affordable luxury. Like,
Mhm.
everyone wants to feel glamorous and luxurious, but you may not have the finances to do it. So it's like giving us that taste of luxury. And I feel like just because you may not have as much as the other person doesn't mean you shouldn't experience what that is.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
and I
everybody want to
yeah.
ball on the budget.
Yeah,
You're giving them
exactly,
some hope. I
yeah.
love that.
I know, Kumiko's giving hope. She's giving hope, you define you came up, after self-reflection, you came up and you realized, you know what, I'm a businesswoman, and rightfully so, because you are doing a lot of things. But what do you think is the most challenging part about being a businesswoman?
Help, finding help.
I can
Be-
totally, oh my gosh. Man,
because just because you're passionate about what you're doing doesn't mean that anybody else cares.
yes.
And
Yes.
a lot of people don't see the vision in the beginning until it starts to happen, and then you're like, well, where were you
Yeah,
when,
exactly. Yes.
now you want to come, like,
Uh-huh.
sorry, new number, who's this? Like, I don't know who you are. But yeah, it's like help, finding people who want to help
Yeah, and
has
and
been
I yeah,
challenging.
I agree with that. I know that a lot of times, I'm sitting here and I know that I'm busy, but then there's times that I sit back and I'll tell Big Ken, I had to hire someone because someone else didn't work, and then I'll call my mentor and I'm like, look, I'm working on this and I got to get this app out and I don't have any help, and he's like, bye, Tori. Because he's like, figure it out. Figure it out. If you don't have any
Right.
help, you do what you can on your own until you get help. Or
Exactly.
yeah, or until you're really, really balling out of control where you can hire all the help you want. So he's always like, figure it out. Don't
Right,
I'm
because
not
we have
impressed.
no choice but to. It's either you figure it out or it just doesn't get done.
Exactly.
And because I don't believe in failing, I'm just like, all right, well, here I go, pen and notebook,
Yep.
figuring it out.
Figuring it out. That's right.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing too, because it's always hard to find somebody who matches your passion and energy for
Mhm.
what your cause is, and
Yeah.
trying to sell that to people so they can jump on board and have that same energy. But that's hard. But like you said, you just have to keep pushing, and we're glad that you kept pushing, because
Yeah.
you have your hands in a lot of great things, and I'm telling you, it's gonna be a lot of big things coming
Mhm.
for you. I already feel it. I
Yeah,
already know it.
the thing about it is that, Kamiko, people like you and me and Ken and just all the entrepreneurs, the more, great things you do, the more opportunities and the more doors you open for other people, jobs, people that can come help you, experience, internship,
Glad you said that, because that is a huge motivator for me is, and I just said this to someone the other day. I was like, doing what I do is difficult, but I look at the jobs that I provide.
Yeah.
Um, oh, I also forgot another business that I did. In DR, I had a hair store.
Mm-hmm.
So we have like Indian hair straight from the temples in India.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, we had a whole store, and even that I had girls that were working in it. So it's like amazing and inspiring when you have people who are relying on you to, make things happen so they can feed their family and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. So another
Yeah.
reason why I also go hard is to give people opportunities, because I always love to see the underdog win.
Yeah.
The ones
Yeah.
who, even I have like younger brothers, and I tell them, I'm like, listen, I have one that's like turning 16 this year, and I'm like, I could employ you. Like, you keep worried about a job. I'm like, you need
Yeah,
to put in the time. Stop worrying about the
exactly.
paycheck. Invest the time, get the experience. Then when things pop off, you could be asking for equity in the company. And so it's like
There
I'm
you
trying to
go.
drill
Trying to
that
tell
knowledge
you.
into, right. I'm trying to drill that knowledge in from now. And I'm like, come on, get with it. Like, I could be your first employer, literally.
Yeah, and I think what you just said is amazing too, because one of my mentors used to always tell me that some of your greatest opportunities won't be attached to a paycheck. So
Yep,
stop
that's
looking for
true.
the money and look for the opportunity, because if you get the opportunity, the money's gonna come.
Yeah, it's a
Exactly.
byproduct. It's a
Yeah.
byproduct of all your hard work. Exactly. Yeah. You know, um, Kamiko, as we enter the half the year will be over in June. And I know that one of the things you said during COVID is that you did a lot of self-reflecting. What is the one thing that you really hope to accomplish before the end of the year? We don't have
Oh my gosh.
silence. Mm-mm.
Right.
Mm-mm. You got to pick something because it's coming. And you got to have them accomplishments and like this is one thing that I really want to accomplish before the end of the year. We already know
To
you're
be
going to be in Black Line magazine, so if that was one of your accomplished, girl, you already got it.
well, thank you. I mean, that was my answer, but I was trying to find another one, but then you just took it from me.
I'm
I
sorry,
think my biggest accomplishment would be with these Airbnbs,
Mhm.
Mhm.
because not only, I get it, everyone's doing Airbnbs now, it's like the hot new thing, but um doing it in another country.
And doing it your way.
Right.
Yeah.
Doing it in another country, doing it your way,
Mhm.
is a whole experience. Because even with that, I'm recording the experience from beginning to end. And soon I'll be getting into like YouTube and stuff like that and showing the stuff that, because like people just show up to an Airbnb and it's just done. Like
Yeah.
they don't really know what it is when it's a blank canvas,
Yeah.
and all the things you really have to purchase to make it look and make it flow. And
Mhm.
it's been stressful, but because I don't give up, I'm just like,
Yeah.
we gonna get through this. And yeah, so I would really say the Airbnbs.
Well, of course, we can Airbnbs, they're necessary. I know that when my son was shooting his film, Airbnb, they became wonderful. So,
Yes.
it's just a better, I don't know, for us, and him at the time, it was just a better alternative for for what he was doing. And he just felt a lot comfortable, rather than staying in a hotel with all these people around him, just being in,
Right. When you
like,
can be at a home away from home,
yes,
and
exactly,
Exactly.
exactly,
you can
yeah,
just relax
and that,
versus
yes,
I don't have to go through a hotel lobby. I don't have to really see
yeah.
unnecessary people that I don't want to
Mhm.
see. So,
It's
yeah, I'm
amazing. Yeah, Airbnb. So yes, you do that because we need to add some more to our list. So you do that.
I got you, Tori. I got you.
Now, before we let you go, you, like I said many times during the show, is that you wear a lot of hats, but we want to make sure that our viewers can reach you. So what's the best way for them to go about? If they have a question, if they want to order some lipstick, if they just kind of want to do photography,
Well, if
what
they want to order some rum punch,
if they want to order some rum punch, back order, however, what's the single best way for them to connect with you?
Um, anyway, actually, I mean Twitter, because I'm a huge Twitter junkie. I just be tweeting my thoughts, and sometimes I
I
have to like
know we
delete.
connected. We connected on Twitter. Yeah.
Right. I sometimes I gotta delete because I'm like, or I do one of those where you type out and it's like backspace,
Nah,
backspace. So like
man.
I can't put that. Like they don't cancel me
Yeah,
if I write that one.
I
But
know. I'm in my feelings. Okay, backspace, backspace.
right. And
Yeah.
then it's like, yeah, we're gonna scrap that. So like Twitter, email, Instagram, just like there's no one way because I'm always glued to my phone, whether it's my email, and I respond quickly because I know what it is when you have to wait. And
Yes.
so I try to make that a priority. So
Mhm,
my website, Instagram,
mhm.
any form of social media, like it doesn't matter. They can hit me up and I will always get back to them.
Okay. So
so
it's
they can just search your name. They
yeah,
can just search your name and find you.
Oh,
yeah. I was
you
just
wanted me to list all
I
of
was
them.
just
Oh
about no,
Lord.
no, 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 no. Like,
No, you.
if
Yeah,
it's
you
if
don't
it's
have to,
yeah,
but
if it's
it,
social
sometimes you
media,
can just search your name and then
yeah,
it'll
Well,
bring it
yeah,
up.
because on Twitter it's Kumiko Ming.
and
Hmm.
it's K
So
U
you can
M
search Kumiko
I
Ming
K
or
O.
KM Bombshell.
Okay.
My website, KM Bombshell, on Instagram, KM Bombshell, Facebook, Kumiko Ming. So it's always one
Okay,
or the two with Kumiko Ming or KM Bombshell.
Okay. And
nice.
just so I mean, I know that we have it, and then we have it on the social media, but also be
Mhm.
on the website. But it's Kumiko. The last name is Ming.
That's
Correct?
correct.
All right. Thank you so much, Kamiko, for being on the show. I know that you and I are going to be in touch because we have some other stuff
Yes.
we have to
Thank you guys
do.
for
Yeah.
having me. I
Thank
had
you.
fun.
Yeah. No, no
And
problem at
thank you, Tori, for being gentle. And my backup, Big Ken, didn't have to come in and rescue
I
me.
know, I
Appreciate it.
know, I know, okay, yeah. That's this first time. This first time. Next time. All right. Mwah. Thank you, Kamiko, for being on
Thank
Thank
the show.
you.
you.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
That's amazing. I took a lot from her, and I think one of the great things that as always, I'll always say is that the reason why I'm glad we have a lot of people tuning in. I'm glad that people are watching the show because you always walk away with something. And I love the fact that whatever Kamiko is doing or whatever she wants to do, she starts in the space that she's in. And I know that I repeat that a lot, but it's so true. If you listen to everyone that we've interviewed, they have always started in the space that they're in. When no one could help them or no one could see their vision, they started in the space that they were in, and they just moved forward until the right people came along and understood and can see their vision. So I'm glad that she again sort of regurgitated what we always say: start in the
Yeah.
space that you're in.
Yeah, because I mean, the same thing she did, you can always look at somebody like Jeff Bezos, who they show pictures of him with Amazon spray painted on his wall in the
Yeah.
garage and
Mhm.
sitting at a desk with an actual rotary phone way back in the day.
Yeah.
You have to just start and not
Start.
be worried about what other people are saying about your idea. So
Mhm.
I'm glad that she took the reins and started making the moves that she made because she's doing some great things and she's going to do a lot of great things in the future. So I'm looking forward to seeing her on, the bigger platforms.
Oh yeah. All right. So remember, you can always catch KUTC live right here on Facebook every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I normally always say you can, if you miss a show, you can go to blacklineentertainment.com. You still can do that, but we are revamping the Blackline Entertainment site. It's still up. Still looks gorgeous, but we are now going back to blacklinemagazine.com, and we are going to same brand, same name, but the relaunch and the look and feel is going to be very, very different. So yeah, you can catch KUTC live on past episodes on blacklightentertainment.com. But I'm just saying that we're about to change the look a little bit. So
Step it up a little bit.
step it up a little bit. All right, every week we end the show with a positive quote, and this week's quote is, "You are the artist of your own life. Do not hand the paintbrush to anyone else."
Nope.
Nope, don't do that. All right, until next time.
Make sure you keep up the conversation.
Peace.
Peace.